I want to talk to you today about your emotions, because your emotions are such powerful predictors of your success when it comes to healthy living. You know, emotions are amazing. They can take us to the highest peaks of joy and excitement and enthusiasm and confidence, and they can also take us to the darkest places that humans have ever experienced. I want to use a simple analogy in talking about your emotions. Let's use a horse. You know, I don't know if you've ever seen wild horses before out in nature, but I have in North Dakota, and it was just spectacular to see them running with their manes flying in the wind and their tails up, and the level of just excitement and joy and the power and the beauty. It was just amazing to watch. But imagine if you took that horse, completely untrained, out of control, and you put it in your living room. And your living room that had china and a nice television and all kinds of fine things. What would happen? Well, you know, that horse would likely just devastate your living room. It would destroy it. I mean, it would be utter chaos, and you'd be struggling to just survive. You'd be like, are you kidding me? This thing has to get out of here. It is destroying my life. I can't live like this with all the constant chaos. But now, imagine if that horse was well trained. So if you've seen some really well-trained horses, they're amazing. They've listened to every little click and talk and motion and word of their master. They're willing to do exactly what the owner says. And they become so good that they can help to till the earth, to, pull buggies, to help with almost so many tasks, to help that human, that individual, be more successful in their goals. They can, in fact, pull them forward in a wagon or buggy, moving them in the direction they want to go. They can be an incredible assistant. And while it wouldn't be perfect to have a big horse in the living room, a well-trained horse could easily be taught to be quiet, to stand in one place, even in the living room itself. It's an imperfect analogy, but I want you to think about this. In our society today, we're encouraged to do what feels good, right? Think about the ads for alcohol, for fast food, for purchasing products. It's all about doing what makes you feel good in the moment, that emotional high. But the reality is, if you never discipline your emotions, if you never learn to control your feelings, you'll be like that uncontrolled horse, that wild horse in your living room, destroying things and just devastating your life. I see it all the time in people who are struggling to lose weight, and they talk so much about how they'd like to be thin, how they'd like to lose weight. And yet as soon as they try to eat healthy food and they feel uncomfortable, they go right back to eating the unhealthy food. Even though they spend so much emotional energy and time and struggle with saying, I want to be well, I want to be well, I want to eat well, but then they allow their emotions, their feelings, to take over their life. And that leads to nothing but constant chaos, conflict, frustration, depression, and sense of failure. Today, I want to encourage you, in order for you to get a true sense of self-efficacy, in order to get a true sense that you are seated on the horse and it is a well-trained horse and it is doing your bidding, that your emotions are carrying where you need to go, where you want to go, you've got to learn to discipline those emotions. That's the challenging part. But the beauty of this message that I want to share with you today is that it starts with each decision, with every day. So you just need to start somewhere. That could be something simple. So if you struggle, for example, with food addiction, a very simple thing for you to do is to skip a meal here and there, is to force yourself to eat your salad before the rest of your main course. To tell yourself you're not going to have dessert for the next week. You see, when you begin to discipline your taste buds, discipline your tongue, discipline your behaviors, suddenly you become more in control of the personal decisions you make. And as you gain greater control of the decisions you make, you can now begin to direct that horse down the path you want it to go. It's no longer just carrying you in a wild burst of enthusiasm down a path that you don't want to go. Instead, you are now telling it telling your emotions where to carry you. That is the goal for all of us, so that we can use our emotions as vehicles to move us in the direction we really want to go and where we want to achieve our best health and our best lives. Yes, it's valuable to let your horse run wild in the pasture sometimes, but the majority of the time, it is crucial that you're able to, and the horse comes immediately to you, not that you are spending your life chasing after a wild horse in the wilderness, falling down and crying, ending up in brambles in the darkness of night. My friends, you are the one in control. Begin to rein in your emotions. Use them for good, but use them to help you achieve your best health.